I think the Recharge Strongholds is one of those that it's very important you get a solid start to the map and you have a clear direction of which of the strongholds you're going to try and focus on throughout, because there are now like slightly different methods you can approach this game. Like, do you want to try and go for an A and C hold and pin the team back in B and towards pipes? You can definitely achieve a win by playing like that, because you can then flip between picking up B when they push over towards C or picking up B when they push towards A, regardless of where you're currently holding. But at the same time, if you go for a strategy of holding A and B on this map and you allow the team to too easily push you at A and take A off of you, then you can find yourself on a constant spawn trap. So I think it's really important that you set the precedent nice and early of how you want to structure your game and try and get a really big lead here. If you can get a 60, 70 point lead from the start of the game just off of literally a few kills to begin with to get the camouflage, that's going to put you in a fantastic stead for the rest of the game.
Absolutely. FaZe Clan out for revenge after falling to the hands of Sentinels. Now back-to-back in major tournaments. We are into game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in the lower bracket. It's FaZe Clan versus Sentinels. This is winner advance, loser goes home. The best of 5. Here it is, game number 1.
Winner will play Cloud9 as well. If you see that as a reward, I don't really know, but maybe after their loss earlier, maybe Cloud9 are beatable after all. A, B, and C are going to be in control of Sentinels temporarily. They're going to be the first team to score, as FaZe Clan now are trapped over towards C and blue. Where do they go, though? Falcated is trying to make his way out through bottom middle. If he gets spotted out, this could be very detrimental to FaZe.
LethuL trying to take a route here. Knows Falcated is down on the Mangler. Will pick up that first kill as well. That will take down Bound as well. A momentary 2-kill advantage for the side of Sentinels. And guess what? Bubu Dubu will be taken down off the map there, as you see by Frosty as well. Another kill comes in, and now a control push, which could be disastrous. Good teamwork, though, out of FaZe.
Really good teamwork. SnakeBite managed to stay alive, and then Bound cleaning up the kill onto LethuL. Sentinels made the decision to push away from A to grab C. They gave the A spawns to FaZe, and because of that, A and C now will be in control of FaZe. They've got a little bit of control. They're going to start scoring, and Bound gets the wham bam thank you ma'am onto Frosty.
Beautiful stuff there from Bound there, whipping in. Knew that he had to get that kill to ensure it quickly to save SnakeDown and back Hydro. That's the reason he hits the grapple there. He knows he needs to fly right away to pick up that kill on Frosty, and they do so well. They lose Bubu Dubu in the process. Sentinels now in control of AB.
What was interesting there for FaZe was that SnakeDown and Bound went an entirely different way. Rather than sticking together, one went towards C long haul, the other one went towards A, and because of that, they took 1v1s, they lost those fights. Even if you get trades, it doesn't really matter, and Sentinels have capitalized, got A and B, and are scoring once more.
Frosty down, bull spawn up, LethuL now down, so SnakeBite gonna have to do whatever he can to stay alive. He will get taken down by the teamwork, though, of Bubu as well as SnakeDown. SnakeDown POV on your screen, 3 dead for Sentinels here at the moment. A will now flip to the hands of FaZe Clan.
I guess something that we didn't mention prior to this game, and you asked me, what do I think, how it's going to go? Well, LethuL, of course, we saw him on Recharge absolutely dominating with the shock, and maybe we'll see more of it. 18 kills he had previously, and if anything's to go by from these first stages of the game, 7 kills already. LethuL seems to be very comfortable on Recharge indeed.
Yeah, LethuL, known as the Slayer of the squad, one of the best Slayers to ever do it, and today he has been performing. We've seen him time and time again with absolutely huge numbers, including at one point in a Slayer, 18 kills when his team had 36. Huge numbers now. LethuL trying to hold that angle. He will get the trade. That's what you want to do at top elevator at the very least. That means Bubu Dubu is going to have to come in. Nice little repulsor jump to skip the staircase as well. Avoid any awkward whirlpool angles. Now he will flip A back in the hands of FaZe, and it will be FaZe holding A, now trying to work on B as well.
SnakeDown is going to be the player in B, but unfortunately that is a case of you're trying to hope that no one spots you, but you do get spotted out. But thankfully for FaZe, there is going to be players there to clean things up, and they should be able to get it, but SnakeBite takes the fight, and look at the positioning from LethuL.
Yep.
Watching everything, knows he doesn't need to aggressively push in, and now he's going to clean things up at A as well.
Like that work from LethuL. Decides to use a repulsor in a scenario when he might not have needed it, but he wants to avoid any online melee wonkiness. He's seen too much of that, and now wants to make sure he avoids those close-range battles that can really take you out. But once again, avoids the melee, gets the kill on Bound. It's great stuff from LethuL and back of the base. For a moment, looked like we might have seen a trip cap. Depends on what happens at C here. FaZe might not get it. It is a trip cap. They do not get the full cap. A is going to start flipping at the same time. 2 dead for FaZe as they're going to continue the spawn trap going. And just like that, this game is 135-10 in favor of Sentinels.
Sentinels have done it again where they have given up A and gone to C, but this time it paid off far superior to the previous time. They were very quick to transition back to A and collapse on those spawners. They gained a trip cap, so they got a lot of time because of it, and they were able to pick up some extra strongholds afterwards. But shock rifle now going to be in the hands of Falcated here. Manages to catch out one of the Sentinels players with it. Royal2 falls, and this could be a really good opportunity to FaZe, push up, get control of Whirlpool, try and take A.
For a second, Frosty was the only player alive for Sentinels. Still will be 2 dead, so off the spawn, they're going to push out together here. A little bit of a flank here around pipes, working together. Nice teamwork. Falcated and Snip3down working together here at top gold, trying to get some A angles. It will be BC for FaZe. Now comfortably scoring once again and slowly clawing their way back. But my God, have they ever put themselves in a tough situation, already down 149 to 32.
The BC hold is a difficult one, so I'm glad that FaZe have decided to take A instead and go for an A-B hold, forcing Sentinels over towards C, where there's a lot more of a difficult situation for Sentinels and their avenues to take to try and get out of C. Yes, you can go bottom middle, but if you do get seen, you're very exposed and very vulnerable to not just grenades, but of course BR bullets as well. Pipe still being controlled with Falcated at the moment with the shock rifle, and points beginning to tick up for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, FaZe right back in this. As we said, it was about 130 to 10, and now it's 149 to 60, so they've cut that lead in half. Nice little body shot there. Tries to connect on the second one, Royal2. Not enough damage there, though, but FaZe going to be very happy to have put as many points as they have on the board.
Finally, we see A contested. Oh, that could have been a really important shot, but now Falcated has to back off, and because of that, control is going to be here, and sword in the hands takes down bubu dubu. The damage may be already done. B currently being contested, and actually that's a really important reset that we see from FaZe. Otherwise, this could have got ugly.
SnakeBite as well, a really important reset. Forces bound off of C plat. Going to win that battle over there. Trade it out eventually also with Snip3down in the feed. Now taking a look at bubu dubu's POV will be AC for FaZe, and it's a very different mid-game compared to our opening minutes of play, which saw an enormous lead for Sentinels. Still quite a lead for them, but what could have been a disastrous situation from FaZe has once again been turned around just a bit here. A C hold for FaZe.
I said I wanted to see a really nice big lead from the early stages from one of these teams. Sentinels have got that, and the reason why it's okay for them is they have now just such a cushion. They can afford to, you know, die all 4 of them a couple of times, a few times, and they'll still be ahead in this game. But A and B now back in their control. They've done well to wrestle that back from FaZe Clan, and FaZe once more have to battle out of C. It looks like A is their target.
You have to wonder if that's potentially a turning point that Royal2 does not get the difficult nade on the player that's scattering away down there on the 2-stack. Also doesn't get the kill on C stairs, and it led to 2 dead for the side of Sentinels, and Royal2 is the first to die again, which will mean continued control for FaZe Clan and continued points on the board. AC still in the hands of FaZe. Brought this game now back within about 80 points.
Sentinels still ahead in the slaying department, though, as you can clearly see on your screens. Royal2 leading the charge in that regard. But maybe someone from FaZe can step up, start to get some real slaying power on board, which would very much help them get back into this game. Slays don't always mean objective efficiency, but it can certainly help out.
Decent trades there coming in from Royal2 and Bound. They're in that 1v2. Now on board here with Snip3down. 3 dead for the side of Sentinels. You know that the entire team knows it. They're going to fly across there. Royal2 is the last player alive in batteries. Teams should work together here to get that kill pretty comfortably. Royal2, a situation where he really should not win that battle. It's a big individual effort there from Royal2 as he hits 16 kills.
Ring around the roses at the moment for Royal2, and it doesn't look like there's any pocket full of poses around to take him down. Instead, he's going to just survive here and actually will take the fight. And I tell you what, the commando is terrifying in anyone's hands, but Royal2 does not seem to miss. B and C now in control. More points being scored by Sentinels here, and Royal2, if he can get in a position to try and get this shock rifle,
oh boy,
well, things just went from bad to worse.
Welcome to the Royal2 show. No posies, but plenty of multi-kills. Double kill comes in. It's a trip cap for Sentinels for the moment. Some work being done on B, but can we talk about Royal2 as the last player alive in batteries, winning those battles, staying alive, grabbing the shock rifle, hitting a double kill, absolutely paving the way for his team to continue steamrolling in this game. They're looking for the trip cap, camos in hand. They're doing it all here on the home stretch.
And whilst Halo Infinite is very much a team-based game, very different to maybe Halo 5, which had a lot of individual ability that was seen and displayed, you can still pop off as an individual, and it will very much help out the squad. 233 to 111. Sentinels closing in on this game 1.
If you are FaZe, you cannot let Royal2 take you to the Royal2 show. That's what just happened. 18 kills on the board. He's 18 and 10. Trades will come in for SnakeBite up top. Now back on board with Royal2. They're still scoring 248, 249. If we can clear him out of B and get the this will be the game. That's it. 250 points on the board for Sentinels. They'll win with a huge margin of 250 to 111 over FaZe, and they will take game number 1 very comfortably.
So a game that did go in favor of FaZe when they scrimmed just a few days ago turns on his head, and it's Sentinels at Sentinels' best. They react, they change their strategy, they watch tape back, and they make sure they get better on the game types where they're struggling on, and they've been able to expose FaZe on that map and maybe work out just the way that FaZe like to play it. Because right from the get-go, they had an idea, they had a strategy, and they were able to really pin FaZe back into C over and over again. And unfortunately for FaZe, even though they had moments of promise, it just wasn't quite enough to get back in the game.
Here's some highlights. This is the 92-10 mark. You're talking about LethuL once again, just avoiding these awkward battles if he needs to with melees. Doesn't trust, of course, the back whack. I think a lot of us have been betrayed over many Halo titles over the years. Now you're seeing a little bit of play from Falcated here, but not as many kills as we're used to seeing on the board from him and team, as it was really all about the pushes and the control that came in from the side of Sentinels. Here's Frosty also starting to pick up the shock as well, but this was BNC. This was LethuL just staying alive, now flying in, grabs the shock, somehow hits this shot on SnakeBite. It's also the last shot for the double kill. In the end, Sentinels looking real strong in game number 1.
Yeah, Sentinels will be very confident, not just the fact that they've won that game 1 in such an emphatic fashion, but they're going into a game 2 where they probably feel like they should be the better side, even though most recently, just in the upper bracket, they did lose Bazaar Slayer to FaZe 50-32. Is working in a way where we're seeing one team play their stronger game type and then another team playing their stronger game type. Right. And it goes back and forth until you get to that decider game 5. And I wouldn't be surprised if we end up there again.
Yeah, we certainly could. And if history is any indicator, we could certainly see ourselves in a game number 5 between these two teams. It has been the case in all of our recent major tournaments. Folks, we're into game number 2 here. Sentinels leading in our lower bracket 1-0. FaZe Clan looking to tie the series 1-1.
Just as a reminder for any new viewers, just watch out for that little white arrow next to the players' names. That's who we're observing. That's who we're spectating. I know there was a couple of people in chat asking how you see who is going to be on your POV. It's a 4-3 lead for Sentinels as well, and an overshield in the hands of LethuL.
Good LethuL once again. Look at the, I'm telling you, watch his movement here, folks, making sure that he avoids the melee ranges there. You see how he tiptoed around that to get the distance, stays out of melee range, and only when he has enough damage to have the advantage in the Halo Infinite melee system, then he moves in for that melee. That will continue to be a difference maker for the game's top players. More and more of them are paying attention to that with even more ferocity in terms of making sure that they're playing those melee kills perfectly. Now 6-5 in favor of Sentinels, up by, excuse me, in favor of FaZe, up by 1.
Yeah, we've noticed that a lot in the tournament, this tournament in particular, how that meta has developed and how people are playing those melee ranges throughout. And it really has shifted and does so very quickly from tournament to tournament about what you want to prioritize. Is it getting close to your enemy or is it staying away from your enemy? And it really depends on how you as a player like to play the game. Do you like to get that melee in, or are you confident in your shooting ability? 9-7. Certainly, there doesn't seem to be any control for either team at the moment. Sentinels, maybe they got the early lead, but they were all kind of hovering around bottom middle and back bases. They didn't have necessarily the high ground.
Ooh, Bulldog will win that one out there. In bottom middle, it's Bound. Picks up 1, picks up 2 for the double kill. We'll get the second on LethuL as well. Keeping an eye here on bottom middle, of course, with that overshield coming into play very, very soon. Sliding around bottom middle, putting some damage on SnakeBite as well. He will try to close out this one, a 2-tap to close out the kill. Looks like eventually will fall, but not before doing some extra damage on LethuL, overshield in 4 seconds.
Very close game, but it can really be changed by this overshield as well. These dynamo grenades are going to do wonders though with damage. Snip3down gets the double kill, might be rewarded with an overshield as well, and this is going to be a difficult situation now for Sentinels. They're 4 kills down, overshield in the hands of FaZe, and they're pushing.
Here's the push now, Snip3down with an opportunity in his hands, 16-12, 4-kill lead, looking to extend that even further. This is the type of snowballing, this is the type of advantage pushing that we've been talking about. It's a classic line in esports, but what do you do when you're ahead? You get more ahead. That's what FaZe is looking to do here, but the push has not paid off. The overshield will get melted, and somehow now a 1-kill game.
An amazing push from Sentinels. And that's what you need from a squad, right? That's what you need from a team who has just lost the overshield and just got double killed in the middle of the map. There needs to be some sort of bounce back, but you've got to have that confidence to play. And this is why I started that conversation. How are we going to see Sentinels play in this game too? Well, they won that game 1 in such emphatic fashion that they're going to be feeling themselves. They're going to be wanting to take fights.
Absolutely devastating there. SnakeBite checking every single corner, knows the tree is a dangerous place, gets a ton of damage, somehow stays alive, and great work from Frosty and SnakeBite together in the tree to now be up 22-18, killing spree on screen for SnakeBite as well. He is 8-3, and what a swing. This was just 16-12 in favor of FaZe. And now somehow 23-19, a huge swing from Sentinels.
Really important that you take this momentum, though, and you keep increasing this lead. You make this a 5, 6, 7 kill lead. You don't allow FaZe to do exactly what Sentinels just did to you. But as I say that, FaZe get a couple of kills on the board, and it will be more as well if they catch out Royal 2, which they do. Overshield's up in 20 seconds. FaZe have control of the middle of the map. Sentinels might have to give this one up if they don't get a kill soon.
Frosty does have a rocket angle, which is going to be big. Falcated will fall in the end. SnakeBite just staying alive here on the tree angle, trying to hold down the bridge. Roll 2 trying to stay alive. He will fall. Now 1 dead for each side. Overshield in 2 seconds. Can FaZe grab? SnakeBite was still alive bottom middle the last we checked. He ends up in the feed though. 2 dead for the side of FaZe, which might result in a power-up grab for Sentinels. It has already resulted in a lead, and you do see the pop going now. Sentinels able to answer back, and despite the fact that you saw Sentinels on the receiving end of those 3 dead, Frosty gets the rocket angle. They slow play the overshield, and they take the lead and the overshield once again.
Oh, that's going to be Frosty just catching Falcated out there with the back smack, and we'll get up close and personal with SnakeBite. The Bulldog, if you're going to get up close and personal, that's the one gun you don't really want to be going up against Bravo. And, oh, there's a couple of whiffs here or there, but thankfully, bubu dubu is there to assist SnakeBite.
Luckily, it's just a few whiffs and a few sniffs of the Bulldog will still pay off in the end. 31-29 Sentinels. The 2-kill lead here in what has been an unsurprisingly back-and-forth Slayer yet again. Sometimes, as we talked about, Bazaar Slayer can be a little bit of a blowout-y game type, very snowball-y. To be honest, we have not seen that in this rendition of that game type. Still a 2-kill game.
Well, with Frosty, and he is always happy to take a fight. I've been very impressed with how FaZe have been running around as 2s, and they've been trying to push on those 1-shots, but they haven't always been connecting with the bullets, which has meant the Sentinels have come out with kills they probably shouldn't have got. But 34-33 in favor of FaZe Clan. They're still ahead, and they're looking to try and collapse here. They know Frosty's in this base, and Frosty shouldn't be able to get a kill, but he does manage to get one. That's what Sentinels are doing very well. They're always picking that one extra kill up.
Falcated with great work there to continue the pressure on the flag. That will bring SnakeBite his 13th kill. He's 13-7 in this game. By far the best KD in the game so far, popping off. FaZe Clan has re-emerged as the leader. Only by 2 though, 37-35. Make it 3 now, 38-35.
Still a game that could go either way, right? And I think that says a lot about these 2 teams and how close they are. But FaZe Clan's starting to create a little bit of a distance now. Bubu gets a double, which keeps it at a 4-kill deficit. Sentinel's still struggling a little bit. Overshield's coming up, and FaZe are in the perfect position to grab this one.
Wow.
It's another overshield going to FaZe, uncontested. Dynamos as well. Is this going to be the beginning of the end here?
SnakeBite with all the tools to play with. He also checks top rocks. Make sure he does not get ninja'd by LethuL. We would have heard a lot about that one. It's going to be 3 dead for the side of Sentinels. Royal 2 was the only player alive. Should have been a rocket grab for the side of FaZe Clan as well. SnakeBite making sure to convert there. Bubu Dubu, the one with the rockets, he will clean up the second. Still 1 rocket to play with in the back pocket as well. He will fall, though. That rocket will stay live. Now a 7-kill game, 45-38 in favor of FaZe.
Yeah, what was a tied game at one point, now we're starting to run away with it. Our FaZe Clan, they're already 4 kills away from tying this series up, but a couple of kills for Sentinels means it's a 6-kill game. It's still not out of the realms of possibility, but with Falcated finding those 2, maybe that's going to be all she wrote here, with Sentinels needing 10, but only 2 more for FaZe.
And the assist will come in 49. Falcated on the double doors with the Bulldog doing double duty on terms of those kills, just adding to his team's score. They will close it out 50-41. FaZe takes game number 2, and we are tied 1-1 in the series.
And as expected, a back-and-forth series where it's somewhat one-sided when you look at the final result, but actually when you look at the bigger picture of that game, it could have probably gone either way. But that's Bazaar Slayer written all over, right? It's just all it takes is sometimes one set of overshields or rockets to really put the game in your hands. And FaZe Clan, they took that advantage and they made sure they pushed on it as well. They didn't allow Sentinels back into the game once more, which happened a little bit earlier. 14 kills for SnakeBite. He was feeling himself here in game number 2.
Certainly. We'll take a look at some of the highlights of that game. Let's not forget, very back and forth, and you had a 4-kill lead with an overshield grab in hand of FaZe earlier. This is some of the final moments that you're seeing from SnakeBite's POV. This is Falcated, though. He had just picked up 2 kills on the double door, and he does the damage for the 3rd kill as well. In the end, when you have all the players of FaZe just collapsing on the hut like that, they're going to pick up that kill. They win the game by 9. It's a smaller margin than we're used to maybe seeing on that game type in terms of recent historical results between these 2 teams, but still a very comfortable victory from FaZe. I think one thing worth highlighting there, Gaskin, is just the resilience from FaZe. It would be easy that when you have the overshield on a 4-kill lead and you blow it and you now find a 3-kill deficit, Those are the moments where a team can crumble on Bazaar Slayer, but FaZe, they keep a cool head, and they make sure to come back in the game, keep it close up until really the 40 kill mark, and then they run away with it.
I think one of the biggest indicators of like how good a 5-0 is as well was Cloud9, their best game type is Bazaar CTF, and they only beat Pioneers 2-1 in overtime in this tournament. And it's literally their best game type by statistics. Like, they have a 92% win rate or something stupid. Whereas Bazaar CTF for Sentinels is a very average game type. They have a 62% win rate, which is still good, but it's in their mid-range when it comes to everything else that they play. Like, they'd probably rather play an Aquarius capture the flag, for example. But we'll see how this one plays out, as it's poised perfectly for another Game 3.
It absolutely is. Tied 1-1. FaZe Clan and Sentinels, the way we expected to see this team. First 3 kills go in favor of Sentinels. Bubu Dubu, last player alive on your screen. Oh my god. And that was one hell of a tuna melt of the overshield. That one will be eliminated. Bubu Dubu will be sent to the respawn screen. And now SnakeBite flying in here with the rockets and the grapple as well.
Tell you what, that's a scary sight to see, SnakeBite with rockets, but maybe a little bit overzealous as well, because he will fire a rocket, give away the rest of them. And nothing's going to come of that push, it would seem. But LethuL has been able to pick them up at the very least, so it wasn't all in vain.
That's what you have to do on this map, like we talked about earlier, finding a way to sneak a player out. Look at these plays right here. Mechanical work from Frosty. Stays alive there with nice little curb slides, as well as a Bulldog using the pillars to stay alive, and will stay alive on the top rocket side. Bottom mid push, though, coming in from Falcated and SnakeDown. One of them will fall. 2 of them will fall. 2v2 now.
LethuL gets a double. So Sentinels are going to have the man advantage in the middle of the map here, but Frosty's worried about something. And that's the worry. Bound is the concern, but can he get the kill? He's going to push it, be aggressive, but Bound holds strong. Impressive from the young man, but that's going to be 3 dead for FaZe Clan. Sentinels now looking to run flag.
Yeah, flag already out. It's going to be, looks like a tree run here. Going to keep an eye on the rocket side as well as the bar side. Flag is already going to be tossed bottom middle. They do have bottom middle support. Looks like a double door run as well. Going to fly right through. LethuL not waiting, but the double door nades will come through. 2 dead for Sentinels. They need to be careful here. Here comes the 4-man push from FaZe.
Yeah, this is not going to be an easy recovery of this flag whatsoever. If you're looking at Sentinels, they'll probably have to let this one be recovered, and FaZe Clan will get that recover very quickly indeed. The grenades were perfectly timed. That's what you've got to do sometimes. You've got to be patient. You've got to wait. You've got to just wait for that double door push with the flag, and the grenades usually clean things up. Now it means we'll be back all square in the middle of the map, and FaZe Clan actually got a little bit of control here, but they're all down low, so these grenades are going to be very important.
Really interesting. Just there, you might have caught it. LethuL spawned back base. He did get the trade with SnakeDown in the back of the base, preventing FaZe from having 2 players alive against 0 in the back of the base. So as you say, it will just result in a scrap around bottom middle for that overshield. LethuL with a clutch kill towards the end. Now LethuL the only player alive for Sentinels once again.
Overshield's still up, and the gloves are going to be off soon with some bare-knuckle fighting if this overshield is not found and taken soon enough, but LethuL is going to be the player to finally pop it into his chest. And how important could that be for this next push? Because all those players from FaZe Clan, they're down towards the rocket side of the map, which is going to leave tree wide open for Sentinels.
Nice job there. The bait comes in, so the green gun does not hit the overshield. The damage coming in from the side of LethuL once again. That overshield was late, as you called it. That's a 33-second delay on that overshield grab. Not something you see every time. Flag is running, though, and now going to be running bottom middle. They will need kills because Frosty is the only player dead right now. Momentary 3v3 in the game.
LethuL gets a frag elsewhere. LethuL can continue running this flag as their own flag is also being moved. But look at this. He knows full well that if he just jumps bottom middle, the likelihood is he could be grenaded again. So he's trying to position himself to work on these spawners of FaZe. Whilst the torch was handed over to SnakeBite, but unfortunately he gets grenaded out.
Yeah, 2 dead here. SnakeBite and Frosty were down. LethuL trying to stay alive in the tree. We do see Falcated fall, though. That's going to be a flag return does come in. Other flag course still away.
LethuL still has eyes, and it's still going to be a big nuisance to FaZe Clan. If LethuL stays alive, then this flag is not going in. I can assure you that. LethuL, though, will get pushed, and I don't think they actually... Falcated knew LethuL was there. He was almost looking in the wrong direction. Frosty picks up a kill elsewhere as well, and this flag is going to be returned.
Just like you said, LethuL staying alive in the bar. Not just that, but not having the information on the other side. Going to give him that free kill on Falcated. Now maybe a run here. LethuL going to think about a double door run. Might try to bait out the player out of tree by tossing double doors. The bait doesn't work, but Bound's going to have that overshield top middle. There's the player he was looking for on double doors. He will fall. 2 dead for Sentinels once again. Here comes Bound with the overshield.
Bound not only looks back to his own base and gets kills, but is continuing to push into the opposition base. Takes down SnakeBite. And now this is potential for a flag run if he could just wait for his shields to recharge. But unfortunately, That's not going to happen. In a game at this standard, you are not going to be allowed to just hide away and get your shields back.
That's right. Bound is the player we talk about time and time again. He is the risk taker. He's the guy who will do exactly what you just saw on screen. Even in that 1v2, he will fly into your base and try to make the hero plays. Sometimes it pays off for him, sometimes it doesn't, as it was in that case. Flag now running here, bottom middle. Bubu dubu already running, excuse me, bottom rocks. Bringing this flag in. 2 dead as well for Sentinels. This should be FaZe on the board.
And considering it was a 5-0 to Sentinels last time, FaZe taking the lead is a massive jump and a massive difference from what we saw yesterday, and that is going to do them wonders in terms of their confidence. And Sentinels will probably be left scratching their head saying, well, what's so different from yesterday? Why were we so comfortable last time this was played? I think FaZe Clan are going to be more than happy now with 6 minutes and 45 remaining. How do they play this one? Do they just hold the 1-0 lead and start to play Slayer a little bit, or do they push for more?
Nice flank here coming in from SnakeDown once again to catch SnakeBite off guard. SnakeBite, though, somehow finds a kill on Bound through all of that chaos, and now SnakeDown's going to have to chase it down on bottom rockets. Eventually, he will. And the Bulldog as a reward. Frosty closes the distance immediately, does not let the Bulldog bark. 1 dead for each side here. 6 minutes 20 left in the game, still only a 1 flag game.
There's not many players who would push into the Bulldog spawn area knowing a Bulldog is going to be in someone's hand and say, I'm going to take this fight head on. But Frosty, you know, he is different gravy. He knows exactly how many bullets are left, and he probably heard that reload animation. Knowing him, he's always wise to it. But the Spanker's going to be coming up. Are we going to see anyone in a position to actually grab it, though? Looks like FaZe are going to be closest to it, but it's going to be an overshield for Sentinels.
Ooh, nice job here from LethuL as well. Timing, he picks up 2 as the flag is being pulled. As long as they pick up these next 2 kills, this flag should go home. Trouble in the tree, trouble on the double doors as well. Picks up the first one, picks up the double as well. It's a killing spree and a perfect use of the overshield from LethuL. However, look at the flag, not far off the stand, despite the fact that they have numbers on the board. Somehow, LethuL is the player that has to run the flag in tree, despite everything that he just achieved. And Lord knows how he's alive. They bait and switch at the tree, and now they're going to fly through. In a situation that looked like it was a certain flag return, Sentinels find a way to continue the run.
I mean, LethuL has a merry dance around the pillar, and he manages to stay alive. The rest of the team come in to assist. This time, the flag gets through double doors. LethuL is shut down, but is it far enough now that they can fight with this? LethuL still backstabbing FaZe. They haven't been able to shut him down. The flag's still going to be run here.
Wow.
And now it's going to be tied up 1-1. An amazing passage of play, all started by LethuL.
And he's not done yet. He's just getting started, just heating up. He's 15-7, now 15-8 in this game. We are tied 1-1. That's the only way we expect these teams to be. Nice work here as well from SnakeBite, who has something to say in the FaZe base as well. That grenade will hit hard, though, so he will grapple out.
Grapples into his death, though, unfortunately. A very back-and-forth game. 1-1 at the moment, and, you know, you can see this ending up in overtime, which I think is... We've got to credit FaZe Clan more than Sentinels, just purely off of what happened the last time they faced each other just yesterday. It's not like it was a scrim a few days ago or a tournament a couple of weeks ago. It was yesterday that Sentinels hammered FaZe on. So, FaZe have changed something. They've managed to really work on a negative game for them. Overshield's up in 8 seconds. But I don't know whether anyone's actually close to it just yet. It looks like Sentinels are in the best position for it.
LethuL right here, as you see, having an angle on that overshield. Bubu's weak bottom middle. This should be, as you say, a Sentinel's overshield. It's going to be SnakeBite who's the man for the job. He's going to get this and pop it very comfortably, taking a top mid angle, which tells you just how much control they have right now of the top mid. Gonna fly in as well. Bulldog drop comes in, but oh boy, SnakeDown gets the kill in the end, I believe, but it was also the pre-nades from the flag bridge, the perfect double team of the overshield. In a scenario you thought SnakeBite would certainly convert, he gets shut down, and somehow FaZe stay alive. They shut down that overshield push in the back of their base.
I think what makes Bazaar CTF quite interesting at times is the fact that it's very difficult to countercap on Bazaar CTF just from a measly pull. If you pull something and you don't get it very far, usually you're going to respawn before the other team can get to your base. The downside is you can get countercapped when your flag is at your base, right? When you actually pull it so far that the other team is already at your base, they kill you, they stop it, and then they pull the flag. So you can get quite risky with pulls. You can pull the flag quite a lot here in Bazaar if you get into the base, but it's about how far you actually decide to try and get with it.
That's 4 dead back-to-back on the side of Sentinels. That is FaZe winning those 2. The first battle was a 4-0 outslay, then it was a 4-2. So that will be continued control from the side of FaZe. However, just due to the structure of the map and the difficulty of the pulls, we will not see a flagpole even come through despite 8 back-to-back slays from the side of FaZe. That tells you how difficult it is to control the top of the map. A wild dynamo comes flying out. Could have been mistaken for a chicken. Rocket will not connect in the end. SnakeBite will fall. SnakeBite will fall. Momentary 3-2, 3-1. Sentinels looking for Royal 2 as the last player alive. Easier said than done. Royal 2 will stay alive on pillars.
I have heard that dynamos and chickens taste very similar, so
Yes.
That's why it's often mistaken. But here's another run. Bubu going to be pulling this flag and getting it halfway across the map already, but he's going to have to turn. Will turn, get some dynamos out, but maybe Sentinels have done the damage already by getting the slays. Overshield's going to be popping soon. If they get this re, this could be huge, but at the moment, they can't quite get in a position to do so.
Okay, stop rocks. Where does that nade come from? Bound all the way in the bar. I think hits that nade. He will trade out with Royal 2. Look at the overshield, though. Overshield in hands of SnakeBite. This is absolutely huge. Make sure not to get ninja'd. Also continues to do damage. But the overshield is double teamed. My God, absolute carnage. Bound is the last player alive for FaZe here.
Not going to be able to push out of tree. They have to leave that flag 1 minute 40, and this is the downside, right, of running that flag and getting pinned back in your base. Now Sentinels are in a position where they can try and collapse and get a flag run of their own. Well, all it takes is one kill from FaZe to stem this, to stop this run from happening. Frosty goes down, and now it's a 3 versus 3, and with Royal 2 falling as well, Sentinels are going to have to back off, all 4 dead, and now it's FaZe's chance to try and get in and pull a flag.
4 dead, full power here from FaZe. They're looking for those spawners, hoping they're bottom rockets and knock back base. That is the case. All going to be rocket spawns, which means you're going to see overextenders coming in. They're going to fly across the map, and they're going to run the flag directly to the spawners. They want to bring it to them here, flying in bottom middle. It's a fake on the bottom rocket run, instead going to be a top rocket run. 2 dead here. They continue to have numbers, but now 2v2.
2v2. SnakeBite picking up some big kills, but he gets taken down as well. Falcated, the last remaining player. Royal 2 also trying to stay alive, but Falcated will get that kill. Flag still out at the moment. Falcated still alive and takes down Frosty, and I think FaZe should be able to get a touch on this one.
They do. Dubu continuing to run the flag. They also have angles here from bottom middle. 3 dead. Royal 2 is the last player alive. It is a heartbreaking timing for this flag. Dubu bringing this flag in with only 30 seconds left on the clock. And Sentinels needs to go, and they need to go now. Look at FaZe clutching up when it matters. 20 seconds now. And
taking down Royal 2 is the perfect start here for FaZe Clan, because they can sit back, they can play defense, and they can wait for the Sentinels players to inevitably arrive. But when you are there, when you are waiting, when you are prepared, it's so difficult to push as a team. And with 10 seconds left, it looks like this is all said and done. 4 players down. FaZe Clan are going to take game 3.
Wow, 2-1 is your final score there in game number 3. FaZe Clan wins by 1 single flag, and it's a late flag. A heroic run and heroic timing from FaZe on that last push, forcing all players with bottom rocket spawns, and great game management to close out that last flag run. FaZe will take the lead in the series with a score now of 2-1 as we look ahead to game number 4.
Back-to-back Bazaar games going in favor of FaZe, and they're going to be delighted to turn what was Sentinels' best map from the last series in their favor. But for Sentinels, they're going to be left scratching their heads saying, well, what's changed? What's so different? What did we do wrong on that occasion? But I think all credit has to go for FaZe and how they played that, and how quick they were to move from one side of the map to the other when they did get all 4 dead. Like, they threw themselves into that base to get that final flag, as you said, hoping that rocket spawns were going to be where the players were going to be moving, and because they were playing the map correctly, because they weren't blocking any spawns, that's exactly where the spawns happened.
That's right, heartbreaking for the side of Sentinels after, like we said, incredible flag runs that were coming through, somehow stringing together runs that looked like they were all but dead. Royal 2 staying alive for what felt like one of the longest lives we've seen in competitive Halo Infinite for minutes around the double door and tree. Saw continued control here once again. Royal 2 with that overshield yet again, pushing in and doing what he can. This maybe, actually I was thinking of a different grapple, but SnakeBite dying with the overshield bulldog push. It's a great play here from SnakeBite, by the way. We saw him with the second overshield push. When he pushes in and SnakeDown and team are able to shut that down, maybe one of the turning points of the game. It was a certain advantage for Sentinels, but in the end, FaZe looking too strong with that final run.
Another big moment was when Falcated was able to stay alive and get a double kill when that flag was being run, and it allowed the spawners to pick up the flag and of course get it back to the base. And not many players would have been able to survive in that situation. Great individual ability and also great knowledge of the map, so he could kind of dip and dive around all of the obstacles to stay alive in that scenario. But 2-1 in favor of FaZe at the FaZe Clan Invitational, may I add. Sentinels with it all to do to try and come back now from a deficit.
It's a must-win scenario for them in this game number 4. FaZe looking to get their revenge now that, in their opinion, is months overdue. We are into game number 4. If you're just joining us, this is the FaZe Clan Halo Infinite Invitational. It's game 4 versus FaZe Clan and Sentinels. Winner will advance. The top 3, loser will go home.
A lot of pressure on these Sentinels players then. They cannot afford mistakes. They cannot afford to lose this one, otherwise they'll be out, as you say. Ball will be grabbed by Frosty to start with, but is bubu in a position to actually stop it? Yes, he is. Very important that you hold those angles correctly. You don't want to allow that ball to escape. Otherwise, quite a lot of time can be gathered in the early stages.
Absolutely right. Going to slow down that hold, which was targeted there for that bottom gold. So now going to be on board LethuL here. Sword in hand, as we said, this map has been his playground this event. He has been popping off and putting up numbers that are illegal in most states. Now moving up the top, gold finds 2 players here. Has help as well, though. Nice little bait and switch with LethuL. SnakeBite is coming around as well. That should mean 2 dead. And guess what? It's a camo shock scenario for SnakeBite in hand. This should mean ball time, or at the very least, some kills. Ball does not get grabbed, though. Looked like a strange bit of grenade coming in there. Unable to get the grab, so the ball will stay down at batteries.
I think what was very interesting, the last time these guys played against each other in a scrim just a few days ago, it was a 2-0 victory for FaZe on this map, but it was only 141 to 97, right? It was one of those games where both rounds went right down to the wire. They weren't able to get the full 100 points, and because of that, that suggests that they're very closely contested on this game indeed. So it really could come down to, you know, just those little things, the sword kills, the shock rifle kills that come out.
LethuL, he gets a second one as well. LethuL not content with just pushing back SnakeDown to the sneaky ledge. He went in there, did the job himself, but that means the sword will now be in the hands of Bound. It's a 1 kill on LethuL, dead momentarily finds a 3rd, and will connect for the double kill as well. A little bit of a hesitation there, double take. In the end, though, the ball will be tossed up to bat ledge as well. And drop the ball there. Even a little bit of a 50-50 fakey stall for just a split second. Not sure if that one needed to come in, but in the end, the ball will get tossed up over in pipes. Now will be a hold here. A few more points on the board for FaZe.
A little bit of hot potato. No, you have it. But eventually, it goes in the right hands. But I love the aggression from the ball hold right now from bubu dubu. In a position where he can gain information, but also can do damage. But happy to rotate this ball when he needs to, and that's the sign of a very good objective player. As he grenades, whilst he has the ball in hand, something that Spartan only found out just merely days ago.
Taking a look here, bottom control. Shots still coming in. Good damage. 3 dead for Sentinel. Still make it 4 dead. 1 is a spawner. That's LethuL. That's who they're looking for. It's back elevator, and they know it. Already some great angles here. Snipe down with a bait and switch. Gonna get that kill. Several players still around pipes, and look at the timing here on this push, though, from the side of Sentinels. LethuL going bat ledge, another player going pipes.
LethuL does spot out, snipe down, and there's great synergy there from the squad. I think that was a clear call out of, we need to kill this player, and LethuL is flying right now, and that's what Sentinels need. They need LethuL to begin both flying figuratively and literally, because otherwise they might find themselves out of this tournament if they do not get back into this one. FaZe Clan have done really well to start with to gain a lead, but now we have a slight setup here for Sentinels.
That was LethuL, signed, sealed, delivered, coast-to-coast melee there. Flies all the way from top gold. And then flies all the way from top Canada down into control, picks up that melee battle, and paves the way for his team to continue scoring. Cheeky little grab there from LethuL as he'll head up top, but the rotate does come in from SnakeBite all the way to Hydro. Now he's going to hold down this control angle.
It's so difficult for either of these teams to get a true setup because both of these teams have players who are good at breaking setups, and what I mean by that is just great individual ability to flank or to take a 1v1 BR fight or anything that you can get your hands on to make sure you get that first pick. So the team can then push in as bubu dubu gets the kill with the sword onto LethuL, and that will allow more time to be gathered up here for FaZe.
What a sequence from Falcated. Look how he was in so much trouble at control. Repulsors away the grenade that would have stripped him to no shields, maybe taken him down as well. That gives him the ability to push all the way into C and continue rolling in long haul. Huge stuff from Falcated there. And look at the stick on screen from LethuL. Still so back and forth between these two teams. And of course, the game is essentially tied here, 38-36.
Sometimes you see a grenade leave a hand and you just know it's gonna connect with an opposition. And that was one of those babies which delivered. Now we're going to see Sentinels scoring once more, but FaZe managed to steal that ball away. Again, it's really hard for either of these teams to gain any sort of advantage right now because there's so many big, important kills coming out. Even when we see 3 dead on one side, that last remaining player is always being a nuisance. He's always there doing damage, and sometimes, and actually quite often in this game, they're getting kills as well.
That's right. That is the name of the game in Halo Infinite. You need to prepare yourself to be the last player alive. Here's the push here from SnakeBite against SnipeDown with the shock. The repulsor will come in handy as well to avoid the melee battle. That will be 2 dead for the side of FaZe. Should be an opportunity for Sentinels to rack up even more time. Ball does not play in the end there. Will stay on the map. So now here's, oh boy, nice little curb slide repulsor jump comes out of SnakeBite. The man has been putting in the hours and he's going to continue flying across the map. Love to see it. He'll pick up even more kills on the way as well.
I can smell a YouTube video from Sharvey already just seeing that one very successfully executed there. And that's what we're going to start to see more and more. These players get very used to the mechanics, realize how they can use the boundaries of this game to their advantage, as it's perfect from SnakeDown as well. The reward is a sword, but 61 to 57, it's still all to play for in this first round. It's so difficult to separate the two.
This is what we expected to see between these two teams. Absolutely toe-to-toe in this game type. We talked about how Recharge just delivers in terms of intensity and needing to fly at your opponent nonstop. There is never a moment to breathe. That has been the case in this game as well. 4 players alive for both sides here. 72-57 in favor of FaZe.
Ammo's up, there's eyes on it, but no one's brave enough to dive on it in the moment because they know that just one death here could be enough to allow the other team to pick up that extra bit of ball time. Okay, is that a controller disconnect situation? Or, I don't know, I'm a little bit concerned, but we'll see what happens. As at the moment, Sentinels are still in a position, and yeah, unfortunately, we lose a player from FaZe Clan. But 72 to 57 is the scoreline that I see, but we'll have to get an official ruling.
No padding of those stats. Nobody shoot. Nobody kill. And that's going to be it. And as we said, surprisingly in that SnakeBite Falcated battle, when you saw Falcated kind of look away and not challenge there, I think you and I and many viewers at home knew something was afoot. United, etc. But we're back into ball, and we're back into the action here. It's Sentinels right now trailing FaZe Clan. A must-win game for them here in game number 4. Recharge ball, just to remind you, it's going to be Sentinels needing 100 points to win this first round. It will be FaZe needing 85 due to the point difference at the time of reset.
Camouflage going in favor of FaZe, and Bound is going to have it to be a sneaky beaver to begin with here. Although we can't really find anyone at the moment, and he's also not giving any info. There we go. Finally, he gets a little bit of coverage as to who is where. Spots out LethuL, but LethuL says, I'll schloop-de-doop that one away. Takes the ball, but finally Bound can do something with his camera.
Wise there to get the kill on bottom middle. Needed help, but runs into 2 players, and they will win the 2v1. Frosty and LethuL over here at top goal. LethuL tries a long haul rotate, puts 10 points on the board as well. Frosty stays alive, but answered back by fantastic shots from Snip3down, who will stay alive on batteries. Sentinels, though, continue to score. They continue to rotate.
Nice early lead for Sentinels. It's what they need. They basically negated that entire point advantage FaZe had coming into this one. Oh, LethuL, though, manages to get the better of SnakeDown. Falcated is going to be the last remaining player on that side. It is going to be a play ball, though, because of the pressure that came out from FaZe. So Sentinels not able to rack up as much time as maybe they would have liked. Shock rifle now in hands of Falcated as well. Yeah,
Bound gets the Whirlpool spawn. Have to imagine the rest of the team will be spawning here as well. That certainly looks like the case. Now Falcated going to rotate over here to see Flat, find SnakeBite, who had some, oh gosh, I was going to say very good shots, but answered back by an even better shot coming out of Falcated. He will stay alive bottom control.
So much responsibility when you're the player with the shock rifle as well. Not just to get the kills, but not to give that weapon away to the other team, especially when you know Royal 2 is on the other side, Frosty's on the other side. I mean, actually, you give it to anyone on Sentinels. Remember, LethuL got that double kill at the end of game 1 with the shock rifle indeed. So we'll see what Falcated can do.
Trades going in for Royal 2 and Bound here at bottom control. Falcated also seeing some grenades coming up, and those are very suspicious ones. They can only come from one direction. He knows there's another player at bottom control. Ball will rotate, though, to long haul. And the grapple will come through, which means he can grapple the ball again, can SnakeBite, to avoid that angle. Very crafty, very wisely done, and he will continue holding here, continue to put up time. They're going to cross the 25-point mark.
I think we knew when Halo Infinite was released and we saw the grapple, we saw the repulsor, they were going to play a big part in Halo Infinite's play style, but I don't think we expected it to be in such a creative way that these players have been able to find all these different ways to maneuver around the map and also to utilize the objective as well, as unfortunately the first one is whiffed, second one goes as well.
Frosty in a 1v1 there with Falcated. 3 were dead for both sides. The winner would grab control of the ball, as well as the option to play the ball, as well as the shock rifle. Really, all the goodies were for sale in that yard sale. Frosty's going to win it. That grenade goes through some wild physics that I'm not qualified to talk about. SnakeBite staying alive here. Bait with the sword will connect on Bound. But 2 players do die for FaZe. SnakeBite staying alive still on the Hydro. Ball is played in the end. 2 dead for both sides. LethuL will pick up another one back Hydro, 45-0 in favor of Sentinels.
Although, remember, a 15-point start for FaZe Clan, so just imagine them being on 15 as it were right now, whereas for Sentinels, they just need to focus on the fact they are still ahead by quite some margin, and I tell you what, Royal2 is going to start firing now. He's got the shock rifle, and I tell you what, he's got a ball in the back pocket as well, doing everything he can for the team, another body shot as well.
Yeah, ball tossed up there, gonna have to go grab the ball really quick, bring it back to your friends. There comes through Bat Ledge. That is an unwelcome return.
Wow.
Under the tag, though, is bubu dubu. Double kill from him. Gets the kill on Frosty as well. The man knows how to slide into home and makes it count. 3 dead for the side of Sentinel. SnakeBite last player alive, but sneaks out a kill. That's what we're talking about. Being able to do that in those scenarios, it is what will separate the best in the world. He will stay alive. However, FaZe will finally get on the board in the round.
And they can move that ball over to Elevator to force Sentinels out of this kind of setup that they have of the map right now and make them push them over towards the A side of the map or Elevator side of the map, however you want to call it. And only 1 minute and 45 left on the clock as well. So time is starting to be against FaZe Clan here if they're not careful.
Pop, pop, pop goes the commando of Royal2, picks up 1, trades for 2 up top. 3 dead for FaZe Clan. Boop was the last player alive. You can see he's bottom control. That means the rotate, unsurprisingly, coming in from Pipes. Beautiful slide from SnakeBite to continue bringing the ball around. Royal2 and friends are here at Pipes. The rotate will continue. As you said, time now starting to be in the favor of Sentinels and against the side of FaZe Clan.
Dubu does pick up the ball though. Can he escape? It's the real question, and actually the coverage is going to be there from Falcated, but Royal2. This time it's a snap, crackle, and pop as Royal2 does get the kill, but bubu will shut that one down.
Snap, crackle, pop, and drop there. Maybe even locked it as he dropped the commando to finish that with the BR. 2 dead once again for FaZe. We find ourselves 65-9 as Sentinels absolutely tearing back in this game and showing no signs of slowing here.
FaZe are on spawn, and they're very much backed into a corner at the moment. Frosty's got a shock rifle as well. That is bad news for FaZe, because any angle they try and take out, they're going to be concerned that Frosty could be there waiting at headshot level. LethuL gets a trade. Bound's also at no shields. In all the meantime, this ball is still being gathered by Sentinels. Time is starting to get out of control here. FaZe Clan need to do something.
Totally out of control. Royal2 is going to stay alive, not even take damage just below the bat ledge from that grenade. Green gun is out, 87-9, an unbelievable scoreline in our first game. He's just going to go for time here because he can. Look at the C plat spawners, look at the control spawners. Royal2 knows he needs to change nothing. Grenades coming in from the back, but the helps comes in on the snipe down kill as well. Now only 5 points to go. The time will tick down. Sentinels know it, FaZe know it, and Sentinels is on the board here. They will close out the first round with a final total score of right around 100-20 or so. 25 in total, continuing on from the last 2 games. What a round from Sentinels here on Recharge Ball Gasket.
Yeah, that 15-point lead never really came into the equation, did it? It was Sentinels from the start right until the end. They had control of the map. They shut down FaZe every time they tried to push off spawn. Is that going to carry on into the next round, though? This is the beauty of Oddball and Halo Infinite. You get a brand new, fresh restart, the ball in the middle, new 5 minutes on the clock, and everyone spawning once more with the same weapons. Can we see FaZe Clan do a little bit something different from the start?
2 dead for both sides there. It was 3 dead for the side of Sentinels, but great plays coming in from the side of Royal2. He will also just repulsor jump up to the sneaky. Royal2 knew that he needed to fly out of long to challenge Camo. Falcated had grabbed Camo while weak, and he finishes the kill on Camo to deny it. Very great job there, and heavy awareness coming in from the team. Bound trying to stay alive on glass. Does not work out for him. 16 points already on the board, though, for Sentinels.
Yeah, Sentinel's doing really well to just pick up that early scrappy time, but it's going to be FaZe now getting a couple players down. Can you get away with this ball is the real question. The answer is yes, and I tell you what, that's not what I was expecting from bubu dubu. Puts himself in the firing line by dashing through the air with the grapple, but he just about gets away with it. Maybe recognizing where those players were in Turbine and figured he could actually take an angle where he wouldn't be in their sightlines.
Wanted to grapple it, but it was a tricky grapple angle there for the ball. Eventually, though, pops right back up, and he's able to continue controlling. They do have the numbers as well, but Bound will fall to make it 3v3. And with LethuL as a spawner, they will take down 2 members of FaZe. So far, a successful push.
70-16, a very closely contested round number 2 already, but Frosty picking up a double kill here is going to have FaZe once more on the back foot. And it's how Sentinels are moving around the map at the moment. They're a unit, and they've always got something in their back pocket, whether that be a shock rifle, or whether that just be a couple of grenades to give them that slight advantage when a player walks around the corner.
Look at Frosty's awareness. Look at him just checking the tunnel, also checking bottom control and glass at the same exact time the players were thinking about challenging those angles. He knows where to look on the map, and he's going to hit those shots. It's a perfect sharpshooter. Almost turns 2 at top glass. 2 dead for both sides. Big moment here. That's a big win. 3 dead for Sentinels off of the melee battle, but now a 1v1 between LethuL and Bound.
Remember, Sentinels need to win this one to take us to a game 5, and at the moment, that's where we're heading. But FaZe Clan can very easily and quickly turn this one around, and perhaps the camouflage in favor of Bound here could be the start of that charge. Does get one and got another player very weak. So if he can get a little bit of assistance, but I think he runs... Oh, he not only he runs into an own grenade, but he also betrays Falcated at the same time and will be shut down here. Bubu Dubu, unfortunately, a victim of his own grenade.
So surprising to see their Sentinels, without a doubt, winning that exchange, but not something you see every day there. A team nade and a self nade, and also a situation that paved the way for that ball to be played in the end. Absolute chaos and carnage and unfortunate events in the back of the base for FaZe. They will still be 3 dead as a result of that moment. Ball time will continue for Sentinels.
50 points and halfway now to winning this round and this map and taking us to a game 5. It is small moments like that, Bravo. It is just a grenade that is slightly out of place, that gets a betrayal, that suddenly turns this very much in favor of the opposition team, because that is going to be in the mindset. It's very hard to forget about those kind of things sometimes, those little mistakes. Look at the aggression here from Sentinels. They want to finish this game. They want to take us to a game 5.
Great comms there coming in. Certainly Frosty knew that player was 1 hit there off of the grenade. He's also still doing damage at bottom yellow. Finds another player on danger and will get away with a nice 360 grenade as well to cover his own back. Like you said, disastrous events for FaZe there. Not only was that a betrayal, but also nading himself with camo in the back of the base paved the way for back-to-back 3 deads and continued control coming in. Now 85 points on the board for Sentinels in round number 2.
Yeah, we are close to closing this one now, and Frosty is doing it in style as well. He says happy Easter as he puts a shock rifle bullet through the brain, and it's still going on. A shock rifle is tearing through.
My God, damage coming out of this man right now, 99, 100, and Sentinels will close out game number 4. How else to end this series? We are going to a final game number 5 Slayer to decide it between Sentinels and FaZe Clan.
It was a game number 5 in Anaheim. It was a game number 5 in the winners bracket in the FaZe Clan Invitational, and it's a game number 5 now in the lower bracket as well. Playing for top 3, playing for that extra prize money, and of course the shot at playing Cloud9 in the lower bracket finals. And you know, FaZe have looked amazing at times, but at the same time, you cannot count out Sentinels, and what a dominating performance that was after the restart on Oddball Recharge. LethuL doing some dirty things, but also Frosty stepping up with that shock rifle at the end as well.
Taking a look at some highlights from that game, and what a game it was. Looking at the first round that you did see on screen, and as we said, absolutely toe-to-toe and so back and forth, but in the second rendition of that, continuation of the game, just absolutely dominant performance. Look at this play also. Such a nice play from SnakeBite to avoid the melee range. You can even tell SnakeDown there goes for the shock melee. Hits the repulsor at the perfect timing, though, to make sure he stays out of the melee range in the end, and that was just, I mean, absolutely disgusting in the end. I think the score was 100-12 or so in that second round of ball.
Every single time you look at one of these highlights, by the way. Yeah, it's just, so it was Bound, excuse me. I think I said Bubu Dubu when we were commentating, but it was Bound who had thrown that grenade. SnakeBite then gets the kill on him and also cleans up Bubu. So that's 3 players going down pretty much because of that one poor grenade that came out. And even though things were already heavily in the favor of Sentinels, I think that swung things even further so. And it meant that Sentinels eventually would close it out and take us to a game 5. I don't think anyone would have expected anything less between these two teams.
No, that's exactly what we expect to see, and it feels like even when you just have SnakeDown versus LethuL, period, if you think about their very first matchup against each other, of course, going to Game 7 at the X Games, a Game 7 Slayer, it has just paved the way for an unbelievable storyline between these two players, and now these two teams, as they continue to duke it out. We are going to a Game 5 Slayer. We're going to have to see what the pick and bans have in store for us to see what the battleground will be, but I think looking at that play there with the camo, not that that was deciding of the oddball game, there's a lot that played off, but I think that's the give, you know, the give and take and the risk reward you get with a player like Bound. He's so fast, he absolutely flies in, he does damage, he takes battles that other players would not take, and he's not afraid to 1v2 at certain times. And of course, you see the flip side of that coin. Sometimes it can be just a little bit too aggressive. It's a statement as well, because since mid-February at DreamHack Anaheim. It has been Sentinels who have held that title of the team that has placed significantly higher than FaZe, whereas that was not the case earlier on in Halo Infinite. I think FaZe wants to be known as the top team here, but you might argue that even more than the prize money, Dan, just like you said, actually, I'm going to forget that statement because we are into game number 5, and there's no time to waste here. This is a must-win for both teams. First team to 50 wins.
First kill matters, and SnakeBite with the grenade, but Bound replies and picks up a Bulldog because of it. LethuL's got the rockets though, so the early exchange is going in favor of Sentinels ever so slightly, 4-2, and I think they've got one more rocket to play with, if I'm not mistaken, but it could have just been one that was sent wayward and didn't pick up a kill. The Sentinels will be happy with that early exchange. Great for them to get a very slight advantage here after the first 30 seconds.
LethuL's the first man forward, had so much info, so much damage. Double kill for LethuL to start this one. Finds Falcated as well, might make it 3 in the end. The shots will go, the damage will go, but knows a player is in PD as well. They have a PD collapse coming in. The player flies out on plants, and Snip3down will be taken down before he can get a kill, bringing us to 8-2 in favor of Sentinels, already a 6-kill lead.
Yeah, this is a really good start, and it's gonna at least allow FaZe now to maybe try and command a push here, because Bound starts things off. We'll also get a kill onto LethuL, and that's what FaZe needed. They need that one player who can get the opener, who can get that initial pick whilst all 4 players on the opposition team are out.
Worth noting here that the prize money difference between 4th and 3rd is 4x. It's $2,500 for 4th, $10,000 for 3rd. This is an $8,500 Game 5 Slayer here, and that's just the beginning of the road potentially for these teams. Push does come in here 12-7. Now SnakeBite will die in the exact same place in back PD. Unfortunate spawns for him. 13-7 now. They will continue patrolling on. Royal 2 already on 4 kills. LethuL already on 5.
And whilst history would suggest this is the game type for Sentinels, winning it in both the winners bracket and in the most recent scrim just a few days ago, it's not always been the same story, with scrims directly translating and of course previous matches not directly translating. We could look at Bazaar CTF for that occasion, FaZe winning that one despite losing it 5-0 just yesterday. But already we can see a 16-8 difference. They've doubled the lead. Rockets are coming up as well. If Sentinels get hold of them, this looks like it could end up being a very snowbally game in favor of Sentinels.
Oh my. And look at the comms here. Bubu not even knowing there's a player back tram there. Unfortunate for the side of FaZe. Great news for the side of Sentinels, excuse me. Not Fentanyls. Double kill there coming in there with the Rockets back player. PD weak. Tires player will fall as well. 19-10 in favor of Sentinels. It is a fantastic start for them. SnakeBite with some great work there with the thrust to stay alive in the back of PD as well.
Too many FaZe players getting caught out on their own at the moment as well. It's unfortunate sometimes off spawn you just can't find the rest of the team as LethuL picks up a triple kill. And I tell you what, LethuL has been making a statement in this game. He's been finding kill after kill. He's been amazing with his flanks, also getting assists for the squad. 23-12.
He absolutely has pings coming down as well. They know players are going to be back A. And a huge margin, a huge start here for Sentinels. Don't forget, comebacks are possible on streets. However, with the way that Sentinels is playing, looks like there might not be room for one of those today. It's an 11-kill lead in the back of the base. Perfect timing from Royal 2 and Frosty as well at the back of the base. LethuL will stay alive on the Neons as well. They will continue scoring and rolling. They have double the score of their opponents.
And whilst it was 50-47 just yesterday, it clearly feels like Sentinels have worked on this and they've had a far better start. And look at the confidence right now. They are pushing in and pushing on every single spawn to try and get as much of an advantage as possible whilst they have FaZe on the back foot. And as you say, a 14-kill deficit is not an easy one to overturn whatsoever, and you'd have to imagine it would need to be huge mistakes from Sentinels for FaZe to get back into this.
And if we're honest, this is not the scoreline we expected to see. This is something that you might more so see in matchmaking here. It's 29-15. There's no remorse here and no one holding back. SnakeBite staying alive on Heaven as long as he can. Eventually, FaZe will work together to take him down, but they will fall 2 in the process as well. 3 dead for FaZe yet again, and the Sentinels train keeps rolling.
That being said, in a lot of previous results, we've had one-sided games between these two teams, but very rarely has it been the Game 5 Slayer. It's usually been very closely contested in Game 5. It seems like Sentinels, they're fed up of closely contested Game 5s. Instead, they want to take it to FaZe here, and they are really putting on a show. 37-18. FaZe are nowhere to be seen on streets.
As a reminder, once again, if you're just joining us, this is a $7,500 Game 5 Slayer. And it's not always the case that you have that much money on the line in a single game. That is the case here. And Sentinels came ready to play, especially LethuL, leading the team here. Unbelievable numbers from him, 14-6. The team will continue pushing in the back of the base. They're only 11 kills away, and they might even have a steak dinner on the way to their Cloud9 matchup.
it's one of those matches which is difficult to watch as a fan, as a viewer, as a player, all alike, because you know where this is going right now. And even if FaZe had an amazing passage of play, even if they got 4 down twice, they're still so far behind. And Sentinels just need to get trade after trade, and it's not even trades they're getting right now. They are getting outright kills. They've got bulldogs, they've got grenades, they've got all the tools they need to win this game.
Getting trades there after wondering where on earth those shots went. Eventually, though, it will be too little too late. 44-25. This is the final victory lap for the side of Sentinels. They've played an unbelievable Game 5 Slayer, and they are just holding forward here, knowing that even if they fail a few pushes, they really can't lose this game. 3 kills to go.
FaZe versus Sentinels, time and time again, it goes to Game 5, and time again, it's Sentinels who come out on top. FaZe just can't seem to get past this Sentinels roster. Maybe they can do it at KC, but unfortunately, it looks like the FaZe Invitational history is going to repeat itself once more. Sentinels on top, 48-30.
Only 2 more kills for the side. They will find themselves 2 dead for the moment, so staying alive in back tram. On board with LethuL, your kill leader looks for another one, gets it even without the trade. He's 16-8, and they are looking now for the 50th kill. Only 1 more to go on the board. Maybe even a steak dinner. They will get the steak as well. 50-30 to close it out. Sentinels will take down FaZe Clan 3-2.
Sentinels into the lower bracket final where they get a rematch versus Cloud9. Unfortunately, FaZe bow out in 4th position. You have to imagine that FaZe would be somewhat happy with top 4, but to come so close to playing for top 3 and even further, there's always going to be that bitter disappointment to begin with. But an amazing start going into KC, that's for sure. As for Sentinels, they're still alive. There's always that question of, how far can Sentinels go? Are they going to be that championship winning team again? Well, they get their stab at Cloud9 once more, and it's not the constant 4th places. They've broken into the top 3 finally.